Hi guys, in this video we're going to be looking at velocity time graphs. We'll be finding the area under a graph and then we'll finish with a summary.
Now we already learnt that if we drew a graph of an object's velocity against its time, then there was some other interesting information that we could actually find out about the object. In particular, we learnt that we could find the acceleration from a velocity time graph. And the way we were able to do that was the following. At each point, we find the gradient of the graph. And at each point, this gradient is the same as the acceleration. Now it turns out that the velocity time graph actually contains even more information than this. We can actually calculate distances using this graph. So how can we use a velocity time graph to find the distance that an object has travelled? Now it turns out that the distance travelled is simply the area underneath the graph. So for example, in this graph here, the distance travelled by the object from this time to this time is equal to this whole area underneath the graph. Okay, so we find the area of this graph and it's equal to the distance travelled. Okay, so we've come up with this wacky new rule that the area under the graph is the distance travelled. It would be nice to see an example of how this works for the simplest case possible, which is the constant velocity. Okay, well in that case, let's imagine that we had a different velocity time graph. So from now on, let's ignore this black line and instead imagine our velocity time graph was this purple line. In this case, what's the area under the curve? Well, the area under the graph that we have here.
Hey guys, to continue watching this video and unlock hundreds of other super concise and exam board specific GCSE physics and combined science videos, just click on the Snap Revise smiley face. Join me today and let's make physics at GCSE a walk in the park.